There is a direct relationship between the wealth of Russia's oligarchs and the ability of President Putin to execute his aggressive foreign policy and domestic agenda. London is at the heart of this relationship. Its real estate market has long been known as a laundromat for suspicious wealth from Russia. Here, in 3 charts, we track how Russia's dirty money allowed Putin's allies to move in virtually next door to the Queen's Buckingham Palace. For decades, Russia has been a kleptocracy. A network of oligarchs has been allowed to plunder Russia's resources by President Vladimir Putin, and they act in exchange as a source of private finance for the Kremlin. How much money have these oligarchs, the top 0.01%, amassed? Here we can see that it's far more than in a typical developed country. Official numbers from the Kremlin don't reflect the reality, but independent analysts estimate that Russia's top 0.01% hold well over 12% of all of Russia's wealth, an astonishing level of inequality. For comparison, the USA, also a very unequal society, is still nowhere close, at just below 8%. Another staggering statistic: just 118 Russians, which is the number of Russian billionaires on Fortune's list of the world's wealthiest people, have a combined worth that equals 34% of Russia's entire annual GDP. That's by far the highest share of a nation's GDP in the world. But Russia's oligarchs are unique in another way too. They may have stolen a fortune, but it's not safe in Russia. Its economy and currency are unreliable. Plus, they know Putin's favor is fickle and he could arbitrarily confiscate their wealth. So, they have needed somewhere safe to stash it outside of Russia. Here we can see that around 60% of Russia's wealth is kept outside of the country. And this is really remarkable. No other developed country comes anywhere close to this. The oligarchs face one additional problem. Much of the money they have amassed has been criminally acquired and could be subject to sanctions. What they need then is a way to conceal the source of the wealth from the rest of the world and erase any links between them, their money, and their crimes. Typically, kleptocrats set up shell corporations that anonymize their association, which then allows them to make asset purchases. One of the most common assets is property, and here's where London comes in. Transparency International UK has been collating information on questionable funds from around the world being invested in UK property since 2016. This figure now stands at £6.7 billion. Of this total, £1.5 billion worth of property was bought by Russians accused of corruption or links to the Kremlin. Here we can see their favorite neighborhoods. Nearly 30% of the dirty property they have acquired in London is in Westminster, right in the center of Britain's democratic institutions. They're also next-door neighbors of the royal family. 20% of the dirty property is located just a stone's throw away from Buckingham Palace in Kensington and Chelsea. Why London? Well, although the UK certainly has anti-corruption laws, an absence of effective enforcement and reliance on self-regulation have made the UK a safe haven for dirty money. Consider this: whereas legal professionals raised 1,500 red flags on suspect property deals in 2021, real estate agents only raised 861. Clearly, we can't trust agents to self-regulate. Dirty money is just too appealing, apparently. In 3 charts, we have implicated London in Russia's financial corruption. First, we showed the vast amount of wealth that Russian oligarchs have amassed, or more accurately, stolen from the Russian people. Second, we revealed how much of that money has been stashed outside of Russia into what the oligarchs consider to be safe havens. And third, we showed how much of that dirty money is stashed in London properties. The bottom line is, London has in effect propped up Putin's kleptocracy. Stolen billions don't fit under mattresses. You can only steal it if you have somewhere safe to put it. London has been that mattress. Thanks for watching. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.